Iraqi Kurdistan, a region of breathtaking beauty. And a region rich in oil and gas. In the past, natural resources have been a source of misery to the Kurds. Oil was discovered in the huge Kirkuk oil fields in 1927. Under successive Iraqi governments, Kurds were systematically excluded from oil production and its proceeds. Oil revenues were even used to fund ruthless military campaigns against them. Thousands of Kurds, as well as Turkoman and Christian minorities, were driven from their lands around Kirkuk in 1963. Many were killed and their homes destroyed.
أما كردستانكي على محمودة كسوار شهيدة كما لناش لا سواردي حوتي 1963 بينجي إيوارا كعرب هرس قومية كان هاتن أمانيا كشبة بيق جناح وتاوان لم سوار شهيدانش يشان مامي منها شهيد حسين عبد الله محمد.
A quarter of a century later, the Ba'ath Party attacked villages and Peshmerga bases across Kurdistan with poison gas. These weapons of mass destruction were bought with oil money. Thousands of villages were destroyed and up to 180,000 Kurds exterminated. This is Topsawa, southwest of Kirkuk, a notorious transit camp where tens of thousands of Kurds were detained. They were on their way to prisons and execution pits in central and southern Iraq. The memory of those who died in what is known as the Anfal shapes the lives of all those who survived. Here in Chamchamal, due east of Kirkuk, the remains of 100 Kurdish children who died in an Iraqi prison camp are buried close to their former village homes. A grim reminder of how Saddam Hussein was prepared to use oil revenues to destroy the people of Iraq. And the reason why the Kurdistan regional government has fought hard to develop an oil and gas industry of its own. An industry able to benefit the people of Kurdistan and the rest of Iraq, so that oil becomes a blessing, not a curse. To that effect, more than 40 production sharing agreements have been signed with international oil companies. These contracts will contribute more than $2 billion to local communities in Kurdistan. One of those communities lies in the remote Germian province, a heavily mined region southeast of Kirkuk. Kurdakaram village was controlled by Saddam's regime until the end of the Iraq War in 2003. The village infrastructure was rebuilt with funds from the Canadian oil company Talisman Energy. $2 million were allocated to providing Kurdakaram with schools, water and sewage, and electricity. The electricity was generated at the Danagas plant in Kormor, site of one of the Middle East's largest natural gas fields. Talisman contributed $200 million towards improving Germian's damaged infrastructure. Adjoining Arab Iraq lies Kala, one of the poorest towns in Iraqi Kurdistan, whose population was badly hit by the Anfal campaign. Here, some 450 houses have been constructed for Anfal survivors, paid for by Talisman Energy.
I feel most passionate about the self-build houses for the Anfal victims. The victims come to the High Committee, get approval to build the houses. They then get a tranche of money. They proceed on the work. That work is then inspected before the next tranche is given until the work is completed. At the end of it, once the houses are completed, the people walk away with a lot of pride and self-fulfillment that they've done a good job.
ژیان مان خۆشە لێرە خانیمان بۆ کراوە ژووری چاکمان هەیە و ئەتوانین خوێندنی تا بکەین و یەکەم جار لە خانیەکە قوڕ و ناخۆش و مشکی تیا و ماری تیا و دووشکی تیا ئێستا خۆشە لە خانەیەکم سەلاحیە ئەم خانیان فالەمان عیبی نییە بەس داواکارەکەمان ئەمەی ئەم مەکتەبمان بگرێ بەڵاوە بەڵام ئەم جارێکی نەکریا و زۆر خراپ و بەڵام جر ئەم نەوەیان باش کردیسە بەس ئەو مەکتەبە ماوە بەس ئەو مەکتەبە خاصکردنی داواکاریمان نییە
دوو ساڵە ئەژێین وەک بنیاغم بەلەو ساکە ناو قڕ و بەرد و دامایی و قڕ بە سەریابیمانە
پێشەکەی بێنە ئەیرانە ماڵمانە شەهیدان بووە لە حەوشە بچووکەوە بووین حاڵمان زۆر باش نەبوو براکەم خێزان و زۆر ناشکردن دەسەر خێزانین ئێستا شکر بەخوا لەخوا بە زیاوێ هاتنێتە ئێرە وەزعمان باشە ئەمە جعدەکەمانە ئەمە ئاوەکەمانە ئەو ئاوە گشتی لە خۆ گشتەوە مەزبوطە بەخوای سادە یا ڕەبی هەرۆ بەحەسێنە هەتا سەر خوا ڕەحمان پێ بکە ئەم جەوە باشە خوا لێمانی تێک نەدات یا ڕەبی خامەگە ئێستا ئیستراحەتێ بکەین.
In Kala, 13 schools and a college are either under construction or completed, all funded with oil company money. In all, more than 25 schools are either being built or being constructed in the Gamian region. For those families who survived Anfal, these offer hope of a new future for their children and for Kurdistan. Duhok, 100 kilometers south of the Turkish border. Here oil money has helped fund an ambitious project to supply clean drinking water to the city's 400,000 inhabitants. The project was crucial to the city's survival because major dams nearby were failing and threatening its water supply.
اول دایگرام پروژه آواد دهوکی سریکیه کل 2009 مرحله اولی خلاص کری مدرس شولی کری اگر اف پروژه وقت دا خلاص نباد 2009 داریشه کامازم باجر دهوکی چه بید.
The Duhok plant draws its water from the river Tigris. Kurdish engineers from Duhok University helped design the plant, which matches international water purity standards. The plant site cost more than $240 million US, 155 million of it provided by oil companies. Investing in people is as important as funding basic services. This school in Duhok ranks as one of the most advanced in Iraq. It's attended by 535 pupils and encourages the pursuit of excellence. Pupils and teachers undergo a tough selection procedure. This well-equipped school costs $19 million US and is funded by the American oil and gas company HKN.
اف قطابخانه سال 2011 حیوانه یا هات یا فکرن شپکت دو قطابخانه آماده یا دهوک یا بجاره یا نمونه و کلیجا دهوک یا بهرهداران قطابیت الویره هاتی نوال گرتن دیف سیستم نمونه کو سیستم نمونه جی لازمه نمرتوا برز بن 5 بابت مایتین بیرکاری انگلیزی کیمیا فیزیا احیا وتوا نمرتوا ش نقطه کمتر نبن و هر وصا امتحانه كجي دكان يا قبول والجرتني دوي تاقي كرني جدا لازم حفتي كمتر نبت نمراوي.
The school has set itself an important goal: to produce students who can compete with the best in the world. In the past, Iraq's oil revenues were used to buy weapons to destroy Kurdish and other communities across Iraq. Now the capacity building program funded by the oil companies offers the people of Kurdistan an opportunity to build a very different future. A chance to spur economic growth and to help the region connect to the modern world after years of war, suffering and isolation. Much remains to be done, but a beginning has been made, and there's a new dawn in Kurdistan.